It's ready, Bala. You can start.
Okay. Hari Om. Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकम् सत्यं परं धीमहि सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये ततो जयमुदीरये. Hari Om. Yes, we'll just share. We have been looking at Samudra Manthan, right? Amrita at last was almost done. We have to see. Yeah, this we read about how Mohini, the delusion, how asuras are completely deluded. And devas are not deluded because they have surrendered to Narayana. That is what we saw. Mohini spoke, no one would believe her. All this was done. We saw how even though few asuras had that inner feeling that, we are maybe getting deluded, we are not getting Amrita. In spite of it, they completely got, they just dependent on that Mohini and they told that she will definitely give us the Amrita. They were enticed by her beauty. And many times we see how we all get into that, vasha, they say, no, the control of the mind. And we come up with our own explanations for not adhering to the right path. The mind brings in lot of explanations. So that was a beautiful thing that we see here. Mm. And he saw, yes. While a semblance of consciousness was dawning in their minds. So in spite of that, many times the inner one gives us a warning, but if we listen to it even at that time, then it's okay. But sometimes we come in with a lot of explanations, we don't listen to it, and then the mind also comes up with a beautiful some other explanation, and we get enticed by it. So they were unwilling to censure the lovely woman of their choice, and so they were silent. So it is that moha. What is that moha? The moha is the asuras think there is something in that lovely woman. So that deludes them from their goal. Their main motive for sharing, for coming and helping the devas in the Samudra Manthan was that Amrita. But here they forgot their goal. They are completely, distracted or deluded actually by this lovely woman, because the mind thinks that there is something there. That is how we all get why the mind goes to something, because it thinks there is something there. You know, uh, that is why we move away from the goal, the purushartha, that as our Sanatana Dharma says. So our purushartha, the purpose of our birth is to know who we are. That is the only purpose. There is nothing else. But we get swayed by so many other things because of the extroverted mind. The mind thinks, oh, the pleasure is in that, in this, in that, and we just keep on chasing, everything, and we forget the goal and get caught in this. That is why the asuras miss out their portion of Amrita. Yes, these devas are indeed without any feeling of beauty. So devas are not deluded. They cannot appreciate the beauty of this. These are the explanations that the mind gives to the asuras, right? They are so greedy that they think only of Amrita. Well, let them take their share first. Surely she loves us and she will not cheat us. So this is what the asuras mind is working. This is how it is working, even though the inner one is telling that, while a semblance of consciousness was dawning in their mind. See, because the Amrita was this, because of the spell, somewhere, the asuras feel that they are in the spell. In spite of it, they are continuing to be in the spell because the mind thinks there is something in that woman. So that is delusion, right? Why do we get deluded? Because we believe that there is something, that mind is going to get pleasure or happiness or joy or peace in that. So we seek that. So that's what comes up here. These devas are indeed. So then these are the explanations that the asuras are coming up with. Well, let them take their share first. Surely she loves us and she will not cheat us. One asura, so there was one who was a little more aware, was alert. He was Rahu. He was watching the behavior of Mohini, and he saw that she would never grant them any favor, not as far as Amrita was concerned. He quickly assumed the form of a deva and sat between the sun and the moon. He held out his hand for the Amrita. Mohini filled his palm and he quaffed it. The next moment, Surya and Chandra together made signs to her and made Narayana recognize the impostor. The Lord at once took up the chakra out of the air and cut off his head. He had swallowed Amrita and so he could not die. His body, which had not absorbed Amrita, fell down senseless, lifeless, but his head was alive. So, this is an interesting thing, the Puranic way of telling that Rahu Ketu planets, right? It is the eclipse. Brahma honored Rahu by making him one of the planets. As a punishment for the sun and moon, the planet Rahu was allowed to swallow them during certain times, and then they are said to be eclipsed by the Graha Rahu. So, this is the Puranic way of teaching this, beautiful phenomenon that is happening. So this is how it had to happen. So it's not that Narayana did not know. It had to happen like this, right? So that's a beauty. This is a Bhagavatam way. This is said to be a moral lesson for children not to carry tales about others. When he saw that the Devas had been served with Amrita, the Lord abandoned the guise of Mohini and resumed his natural appearance. So the job done for Mohini. So he comes, Mohini's appearance is over and Narayana is there. Now the incident of churning of the ocean must be pondered over. Yes. So Narayana is back to his natural form and Devas have been served the Amrita. Now we will see what Asuras are. The Devas and Asuras were both working towards the same. So these are the things that, some learnings that are given in this book. The Devas and Asuras were both working towards the same end, finding of Amrita. Both worked strenuously and equally sincerely towards this end. They both pulled the mountain Mandhara with the snake Vasuki as the rope, and both efforts were equal. As a matter of fact, the Asura put in more work since they had more powerful arms. So, here I'm reminded of, see, a typical thing is, in fact, even in 18th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about Dhriti. Satvika, Rajasika and Tamasika. So the Satvika Dhriti is that willpower. So that willpower, Satvika, when it is Satvika means all the energy is channelized, to know the truth in Atma Vidya, in self-knowledge. Okay, all the time and energy, our body, mind is employed for that. Okay, and there is willpower. There is willpower to wake up and do the japa. There is willpower to attend satsanga. There is willpower to, the willpower gives us all the energy and strength to be in the satsanga, to be in the company of the Lord, to keep listening to his stories, to read Bhagavatam daily, to be in the company of the devotees. So that is Satvika. Rajasika is where we get all the willpower to be successful. That is also done, right? All the motivation that we hear, right? To be successful in this world. Study well and, that is Rajasika, which is egocentric, which is we call in practical terms as for, it is not surviving actually, it is to make my myself, my what do you say, ego only. It is actually my individual self successful materially. That is Rajasika. Tamasika willpower is where there is willpower to which creates harm everywhere. Okay, so if you look at this, the Devas, all the work, all that they have done, maybe we can look at the whole thing as a Satvika because Amritatva, they have surrendered to Narayana. And see, when the same willpower which we use, say for example, to prove ourselves in workplace or whatever, that willpower in the same workplace, when we remember the Lord and when we say, oh Lord, whatever capacity you have given is all you. It is yours and it is you. This energy is you. And with that arpana, when we start doing the same work, that becomes a sattvic willpower. So the same, that is when we can say work is worship. So when the same work, wherever we are, when we are doing it, the same willpower can be turned to the Lord by remembering him and surrendering him and doing every work with awareness that it is the inner being which is powering this entirely. It is his talent, It is his capability. It is his, however it works for us, for each one of us. So by turning our attention to the inner one and doing the same work, then that becomes Satvika Dhriti. So Devas are in that complete, the will is completely Satvik because they've turned their attention to Narayana, and as the inner one has been giving instructions, they have been working throughout. They did not move from the goal. But for Asuras, it is completely for their own benefit. Their entire, focus is only on the Amrita and also their own benefit, and they also get deluded when something else comes. So many things, right? So that is completely a Rajasika Vritti. That is something that is coming up here. Anybody is getting anything else, you can please share from this paragraph. Because they put in the same effort, they did the same thing. In fact, see here it is said that Asuras worked more strenuously. See, if we look at it, when we take up so much responsibility in our individual self and work, it is very tiring. But when we actually let go and say, it is all yours, okay, this instrument you make me, it is just a thought, that's all. You make me do the best through this. The work is yours, capability is yours, the body is yours, whatever, everything is yours. Arpana. With that Arpana Buddhi, when the same work is done, I don't know if we have experienced it. If you have experienced it, you will know it does not tire us as much as it. The tiredness could come because of maybe some bodily exhaustion, that's all. But the mind exhaustion wouldn't be there. But the mind exhaustion comes when the work is done with so much of doership, that I am doing it. Oh, I am responsible for this. So many things come in, no? Things have to go very well. I have to, the result, and the result, tying with the result also becomes so important. So it is more strenuous. So that is also one thing. The Asuras worked more strenuously. So that strain comes when there is so much of that ego, doership. I am the doer. I have the responsibility to finish it. It is me who is doing it. Then that brings a lot of strain. It is all God's work. However it happens, it is happening. Whatever best can happen through this body, let it happen. With that attitude, with that Arpana Buddhi, when the same work is done, then there is no strain. The whole work itself becomes very light, smooth, and like a rhythm, like music. As for the result, I hope, let it not become a monologue. If anybody else wants to share, please do unmute, because I'm the only one today. I feel like it's a monologue thing. One or two, if you can also have the videos on. Otherwise, I get to see Aarti and Prabha, but nobody else can see. Yeah, thank you, Divya. Yeah, Bhargavi ji also. Thank you so much. Yeah, so.
Has Aarti have not come out of Mauna yet?
No. She's come out of it. She's got some other family commitment.
Okay. No, I just wanted to ask about the experience of deep Mauna silence.
Yeah,
I tried for 1 hour. Hundreds of work only on the tower.
Oh, you remembered all that work at that time, or someone else?
No. It was somebody called somebody from calling bell. That too, that internet person, which is very essential. We have to open the door. Some phone call. So that's what the challenge. How the challenges comes.
True.
And today being Ekadashi, I am on fasting, but I feel too hungry.
Yeah.
I am diabetic. There's so much of challenge. Then I started with one banana, one orange. Could not keep entire fasting, but God's grace.
Yeah. Moderation, very important.
Yeah, moderate.
Bala, when you were reading this, yes, I get it's like mental fatigue which gets me when I do the job.
True. Yes.
More than the physical way.
Yes, very much. Actually, it's a mental
Actually,
fatigue.
8 hours of deep physical work is equal to 1 hour of thinking. The
What, ma'am?
mental chattering. 8 hours of physical work is equal to 1 hour of thinking.
No wonder I get
That's why
tired.
we get so tired. 24 hours we'll be thinking even in dream.
Yeah.
See how much fatigue. But few seconds of silence,
Yes.
you know, conscious, if I conscious, then okay. Otherwise, nature, God is compassionate, no? So Mother Nature gives deep sleep.
10
That
minutes of silence is equal to 8 hours of thinking.
yeah.
Thinking.
10 minutes of?
Silence is equal to 8 hours of thinking. I will post the video. It is there.
No, what
Anubhav,
context? I didn't understand that. How can silence and thinking, you're saying?
the source of energy it consumes. We get tired, no fatigue.
Yeah, true. But
Yeah.
silence,
10 minutes of
Mental
silence.
silence. Now the
Ten-
thoughts should be
Yeah,
silent.
yeah.
I don't talk
Both
much, but still I get tired.
mental silence is highly impossible.
Yeah.
At least oral silence. If we keep 10 minutes of silence, the energy conserved is equal to 8 hours of thinking.
that maybe depends on how our mind, the mental frame is, the
Yeah.
fabric is. See, if there are
Mhm.
not much of thoughts, then slowly, the more and more we put the mind in the one pointed japa or whatever,
But
then
whatever the advice is given for the disturbed mind.
yeah. So when the
Mm.
mind is very anxious or very disturbed, then probably silence can
Yeah.
be more strenuous. But the idea is it's okay. That would be only a temporary thing. Because what happens is even in oral silence, yes, there will be outer disturbance. But we get tuned to being more aware of the thoughts that are coming in. Okay. And slowly we will learn. The inner one gives the power to learn to power, which thoughts to power, which thoughts not to power. And we will learn to stay away from that. And we will know we have that identity which is beyond the thoughts. We are not the
Yeah,
thoughts.
yes. But all these comes only with our experience, no? With
Yes.
some disturbance in the life and our reflection for that.
Very.
So otherwise, just general function of day-to-day life will not experience all this.
Yes.
I should
Only
get disturbed because I should know that my disturbance is my fatigue or whatever restlessness because of this mental disturbance. And we have to depend on the scriptures and the gurus. Then again reflect on. Then only will come to know all this.
Yes, very much. Our spiritual, sadhana is very important. That is
Yes.
the Satvika Dhriti.
Hmm.
Right? The Satvika willpower is our spiritual sadhana. And it has to be Dirghakala Nairantarya.
Yeah.
It is a long
And
term.
without that, it is very difficult to understand. If everything is fair and going smooth in life, even we will listen to Bhagavata, we don't understand this.
Yeah.
Everything is honky dory, pink. How can you know the pain and the disturbance?
Yes. In fact, see, and one more thing is, someone asks Ramana Bhagavan has come into Bhagavatam also today. Someone asks, actually she was a devotee, of course, they all were, even to, so she says, with so much sadhana, with so many things also I have been doing, in spite of it, why is it? And she has undergone a lot of, worldly suffering that we perceive as suffering. Okay, there are a lot of, she was a young widow and a lot of things. Okay, family abandoned her. So she comes and she stays in the ashram. And then so one day she asks Bhagavan, with so many things also, you say, sorrow will push people to that, like what Bhargaviji said. But in spite of it, with so many things also, why is it that my mind doesn't, abide? Mind doesn't rest. He says, Vairagya comes only in pain, actually. He says, the pain that you've undergone is still not enough. That's it. Okay, so, but we see even Ramana Bhagavan, his own case you take, a small boy of 16, 17-year-old, what pain he would have undergone? Dhruva Maharaj,
Previous
we see.
Janma. Previous Janma, you would have finished
Exactly.
that.
So a logical answer that karma theory gives is what we see, what we perceive, with that we cannot say.
Mm.
There are people, at a very young age who get that vairagya. They don't get caught in, we see so many
Nachiketa, Prahlada are the example, no?
Even
The,
today, there are many
Dhruva.
youngsters who don't get caught. If we go to the Swami ashram and all, you see so many youngsters there,
Mhm.
completely serving Guru and being there. From where did they get that vaira? And that age, I don't know. Where I was thinking where I was and where these. So they get it because, the Vairagya said, the footprints we carry, that is what is called Vasana. We carry those footprints, the footprints of our suffering. We may not know what suffering when we did, but that footprints are there in the mind.
Yeah.
So that.
Today, my friend was sharing a talk.
Mm,
She said one of the foreigner,
mm,
uh, he's a Christian,
mm,
like what is that? Some Catholic or who is the traditional Christian. They say no. He was
mm,
homeschooled. He was not exposed to this kind of
mm,
spiritual this one.
mm,
But the intuition is so much. He comes to Anatruvannamalai,
mm.
and he is a disciple of Ramana Maharshi.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what to say for this?
There are many such
Mm.
devotees. Paul Brenton.
Staunch Christians coming to Tiruvannamalai on their own.
Yes, many Westerners. I don't know
Mm.
if you have read Journey from Home. It is Radhanath Swami of ISKCON.
Mm.
It's a
Mm.
fantastic book. If you read
Mm.
that, we will know that Ishvara Shakti,
Yeah.
that one Shakti which is just working through all this, that's a beauty. And there are
Yeah.
many such devotees who come and so all that Shakti, we can't
And
understand.
Bala, sometimes in Westerners, we see so much bhakti and devotion, much more than
Yeah.
probably big. I don't know why, because they've seen the material life where how
True.
shallow it can be at a certain level. I don't know. I'm just trying to make sense.
Yeah,
So this
definitely.
journey is too personal. Nobody can know.
Yes, it is a very personal thing.
Very
And
personal.
we don't know. Yes,
And
that's what.
sometimes we don't know our depth or
Yeah,
our shallowness.
yes.
Both.
And he will show. That's why the Guru within will show us. Here it is, tadak, like, holding the torch always and showing our faults. And
As in the
the work.
Bhajagovindam, he said, it is only wink of the eye, everything changes. Just
Mm, mm. So it's all about what is in our hands. In our hands, it is that will.
mm,
Where are we channelizing the will? Yeah. Just remembering Bhagwan in every work we do itself, it's a strong will. It is not easy for everybody. They say, in fact, Bhagwan Nama, if you get Nama in your tongue, it is the result of Janma Janma Punya. Not everybody gets it. Nama with that bhav within, it is not easy. Because recently there was some show, I don't remember. My daughter wanted to book something in Mumbai, some what do you say, some performance, okay, some Western music
Whole play.
band. Huh?
Whole play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, famous band.
Correct. Okay, so she wanted all that, but then she didn't get it. um there was so much, it's a scam, right? A lot of people, and she was telling 1 lakh just waiting in Book My Show. Okay. That is when I remembered what Bhagavatam says. It's very rare, first of all, human birth. And it is even rare, to lead a human birth in a dharmic way. And it's even rare for someone to get satsanga. It is extremely rare for people to be in, to even hear that auspicious thing that I am something beyond this mind and body. And it is even rare for someone to make sense out of it and to say, yes, what rishis tell is the truth. My mind, what it says is not the truth. To have that shraddha. So we all are blessed that, we are in that rarest So we should not waste it anymore. We will not. I'm just saying, to be grateful that, okay, I'm in that. Because 1 lakh, see, satsanga, no, but not so much and all. They don't, hardly people come, right? Great Mahatma will be talking, but you see, a handful of people. So it is rare. But if this,
Ma'am, these youngsters, they're wasting all their emotion and like, especially love on these pop stars, rock stars.
it's a moha, but they'll get back.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, because I've also been there and done that.
We all have gone through that. So,
Aarti ji, actually, people are telling, no, due to your past karma, this must be happening. ऐसा बोलता है. At the same time, people believe in horoscope because in what star you are born, accordingly, your janma kuntali or whatever is happening in your life, ऐसा ही हो जाएगा. I don't know which is proper.
we don't have to know also, we cannot know also.
Yeah.
It is Bhagwan's will, one cosmic dynamic being working through all the beings. Okay, so
Yeah.
our thing is only to surrender to that will and be there. The life keeps happening. So when we surrender and see life is beautiful. When we, without surrender, when we are caught up, that is when we suffer, we go to horoscope, we find, it is all a science. I'm not denying it. But the very famous, I don't know the Sanskrit verse, Adi Shankaracharya's verse, always Nachur Swami quotes. He says, Adi Shankaracharya, he says, I wonder these people, they they believe the planetary positions, they believe the pariharas, they go and put so much effort there. But such realized beings, they keep telling that you are not all this, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are Nitya Buddha Shuddha Mukta Atma. They don't believe it. This is the wonder coming from a realized being. The being who is there out of compassion because he sees us suffering. They see us suffering and they have transcended that. So they are out of compassion, they are actually kadarradu, we say no in Tamil. I don't know the exact English word. They are, we can't even say it's roaring. It is like literally
Crying?
crying, but kadarradu.
Correct.
So much
Okay, proper
compassion.
word.
So,
Screaming.
No, not
yeah,
that.
out of that compassion, they're saying, oh, like how a mother would tell a child, the mother is knowing that the child is suffering, but the child is not ready to listen to the mother. Okay, the child is not even ready to look at the mother. The mother is telling everything to the child. The mother is unable to understand why the child is suffering. And there is a solution in the mother's hand. Yet the child is caught up and saying, no, I will not listen to you. This is our case. It is there, all the saints, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, gurus, all of them are telling, don't, you are imprisoned in this body, mind, get out of it. But we are not. All that we need to do is surrender. Then, yes, Saumya Shriji, you want to say something?
Yeah, when you said about she spoke about the grahas and all things, right? You were saying that God is all pervading and all that stuff. So there is one Kirtana by Purandaradasa where it says Sakala Graha Bala Nine Sarasijaksha Nikhila Nayaka Nine Sarvarakshaka. In that song, they says Ravichandra Buddha Nine, Rahu Ketu Nine, Bheshaja Nine, Vaidyano Nine.
Yeah. Disease also you, medicine is also you, no? Bheshaja is the Vaidya. Bheshaja Nine, then Bishak.
Their word for medicine, something like that.
Bheshaja.
Everything. Basically, you are all pervading.
Yes.
So whether it is because of the graha or your the previous karma, whatever it is, God is the one who governs everything. And so there's, like you said, there is no point in thinking why this is happening
Yeah.
or what I can do, because he will give that buddhi to you to perform what to be performed at that point of time.
Very true, very true. See, here the Mohini is also Narayana only, no? Even in this churning, Mohini is Narayana. So, Yadevi Sarva Bhuteshu Bhranti Rupena Samsthita. If I'm deluded, the delusion is also divine. It is the form of divine. If we start, it is a practice basically. Do not say, oh, if we start for ourselves looking everything as the divine, then surrender happens. Then we don't get anxious about what next, what is going to happen tomorrow, if things are going to be like this, how will we do this? So many questions. No, all that questions will not get caught if there is surrender. Devas did not even think, what is going to happen, how is Mohini, what we do, we go to the extent of praying to the Lord, and when Lord is helping also, we want to say, how will Lord make this happen? Even we go to that extent also. We start thinking for him, then he will say, you only do, like Asuras. So, but here Devas, they did not check, oh, this Mohini, she is going there to the Asuras. Will she come to us? All these doubts did not arise to Devas. Complete surrender. They know. That's it. So
It's like, ma'am, you said in the Gita class, when Arjuna takes a vow to kill Jarasandha, and then he sleeps, but Krishna is actually his.
yes, very much. When we surrender, his work is seen. That's the beauty, He gets completely, he says in Bhagavatam and all, there are some verses which says, I am responsible for my bhakta. So many Panduranga Katha, if you see, he runs. They say, in fact, Panduranga is wearing the dhoti. If you see, he will not wear till the feet. Okay. It will be a little above his feet, like our capri pants. If you see, his dhoti is like that. So they say, Panduranga is ever ready when bhaktas call to run, So he is such a tangible, palpable deity, So, anyway, coming back to this is, so the surrender is all the difference, completely putting on, knowing that the doer is Narayana, everything is Narayana. That's the stance of the Devas. For Asuras, the same effort is done, same work is done, but everything is done for their own. They wanted in their own body to be immortal. So that was the thing. So as for the results, however, the Devas enjoyed the benefit while the efforts of the Asuras were all wasted. In fact, the efforts go waste. What is the point in getting so many things? Having 3 houses, 4 houses, 3 apartments for 2 crores, whatever. Okay, and we also get into this moha, as parents, that we need to pass on as much as possible to children, right? This property, no, it's not for me. It is for my children. Yeah. When we are in satsanga, that is the biggest samskara that can be passed on to the children, the most valuable one. They need not know, they need not even be conscious of that. It will get passed on. But all these things, we don't know. It is all so flimsy. It may be there, it may not be there, and that is no security for them, right? So all the efforts go waste. Definitely. Name, fame, popularity, someone praising, coming in the newspaper. Nowadays, maybe not newspaper, maybe Facebook, not even Facebook, what Instagram, YouTube, all that. Then is that of any use for us? If we just pause and see, we will know it is complete waste. So the efforts go waste. That is something we need to take in the mind. The effort, when it is done with the sense of surrender, Lord is there for us. Yes, this was because the Devas had surrendered themselves to the Lord. That's it. They had taken the dust of the feet of the Lord, and their labor was duly rewarded. Men of the world, when they strain their minds, their riches, their actions, and other similar things towards benefiting themselves, their children, their homes, and their personal happiness, their actions become all futile, like watering the branches of a tree to make it live. Wonderful example. If, however, man does the same things, dedicating the actions to the Lord, it will then be like watering the roots of a tree, and man's actions will never be fruitless in such cases. Self-surrender is the highest form of bhakti. This is something fantastic, no? The way I think the journey, self-surrender completely. You know, every now and then, see our sadhana, if we see, Shravana, yes, we listen. Manana, very important. You know, only then it becomes ours. Manana. Okay, so that we get convinced with that. Manana is very, very important. The buddhi, it is re-educating the buddhi. Nididhyasana, meditating on that so that it becomes part of ourselves. So these three are very important. You know, so for the surrenders, see, we cannot simply say, okay, everything is him and do, because for the surrender to happen, yes, we can keep telling mechanically, but then really surrender to happen, the manana is very important. Every now and then it works like magic. So I'm just sharing that. Every now and then just sit quietly and observe. So many things are happening in the body, right? Respiration is happening. The processes that we think we know. There are so many processes that are happening in the body. So process circulation, digestion, these are certain things which maybe we have studied. We don't even know we have studied. Okay. So it is right or wrong also, we don't know. All these things are happening in the body. I don't claim ownership for all that. Right? But when I talk, I say I talk. I claim ownership for that. What is the difference between that activity and this activity? What control? I think I have control. You know, these are the things we need to ask. We don't have to question. Just close the mind and ask. Yes, I'm talking. I eat. Do I have control? You know, do I even have an idea of how this hand is functioning for the, you know, fingers to get together and take the food and put it in the mouth? I have no idea about it. There's absolutely no knowledge. It is zero. Even a doctor will not know the complete work, you know, thing. So it is
Engineering of the body.
Huh?
Engineering of the body.
Yeah, body, mind. It is not just the physical body which is working there. Yeah, for all of us to come here and listen, it is not just the physical body. If the physical body is ready, is it enough? No, there is somewhere from deep within a being which is, you know, giving the command. He says, I am the Upadrashta Anumanta. A beautiful shloka in Bhagavad Gita. He says, I am the witness of everything. I oversee everything, says Krishna, Bhagavan. You know, I am the Upadrashta, Anumanta. I am the one who allows things to happen. See, that kind of, I have absolute no, it's all apparent. You know, I think I am free to talk what I want. I think I have a choice. To an extent, okay. You know, you can say for a beginner, maybe someone who, but then when we know even this I is very apparent, it's not, I don't even know what is this I that I'm referring to. It's just a name. Yeah, it's just a name, nothing else beyond that. It's just a thought. So when we keep this manana always, it's not just the body, mind, there is a huge system that is working of which I have no idea. Every moment something beautiful is happening, of which this I, which means the I thought, has no idea. But that is also a part of this happening. So the more and more we do this manana, the attention turns to that inner being. When the attention turns to the inner being, then surrender happens. You know, so this manana has to be there, then and there, then and there, then and there. Yeah, that is very important. It is.
Ma'am, manana is remembering or
Manana
contemplating?
is contemplating. Use
Achha.
mind as an instrument, yeah, and contemplating it.
Or we can say remembering consciously.
Yeah. Okay.
And that one, that line I got it, Bala. Bhavaroga haranine.
Wow.
That's even better than a medicine, right?
Yes. Only he can take us out of this.
Yeah. So Bhavaroga haranine bheshajanu nine.
Beshajanu Nene. How beautiful.
Yeah, I've put in the chat the entire lyrics of the song.
Beautiful. Yeah. Would you like to sing?
Ma'am, what is the meaning of Bheshajam Bhrish?
Beshajam is medicine. Bishak is the doctor, the
Achha.
Vaidya.
It is there in Vishnu Sahasranama.
Yeah, Beshajam Bishak, we say, no? He is the medicine, he is the Vaidya also.
Madam, put it in the group instead of the chat box so that we
Yeah.
can listen.
Yeah.
Bhagavatam group.
Yes, please, Soumyashri ji. Please.
I will put it in the group lyrics, and the song also I will put.
Yeah.
Means it is in Kannada, but I
You
think
can
nowadays
sing.
we get translations everywhere. They are
You need
available.
to sing now.
I can sing.
Yeah, please.
I'm not very good at singing, but I can try.
Yeah, please.
Audio.
Audio anyway, it's unmuted only, so I will sing it.
Yeah, please.
Don't worry, God will sing through you.
Exactly. No, Krishna is singing through you. He's bringing that song, no?
Okay, then it is good only. Then it will come good only.
Definitely.
Sakala graha balanine sarasijaksha nikhila rakshakanine vishwavyapakane sakala graha balanine ravichandra budhanine राहु केतुवु नीने कवि गुरु शनियु मंगळनु नीने सकल ग्रह बल नीने सरसिजाक्ष दिवरात्रियु नीने नवधान्यवु नीने पवरोगहरणीने भेषजनु नीने पक्षमासवु नीने पर्वकालवु नीने नक्षत्रयोग तिथिकरणಗಳು ನೀನೇ सकल ग्रह बल नीने सरसिजाक्ष ऋतुवत्सरवो पृथुव्युधा युगादियु नीने क्रतुहोम षड्भक्तियು ನೀನೇ ನೂತನಾಗಿ ಎನ್ನೊಡೆಯ ವಿಠಲನೆ ಶ್ರುತಿಗೆ ಸಿಲುಕದ ಅಪ್ರತಿಮ ಮಹಿಮ ನೀನೇ ಸಕಲ ಗ್ರಹ ಬಲ ನೀನೇ ಸರಸಿಜಾಕ್ಷ ನಿಖಿಲ ನಾಯಕ ನೀನೇ ವಿಶ್ವರಕ್ಷಕ सकल ग्रह बल नीने.
Beautiful.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
बहुत अच्छा है.
Great. Yeah, actually here they'll say Shruti ge Silukada means Shruti means Veda here, Vedas and Puranas. So even the Vedas and Puranas cannot measure his, the immenseness of the God. That is what is said in the, means usually in all these songs, no, when it comes towards the end, it will go to the epitome, the ultimate thing. It will go slowly. They will take us there by telling all worldly things.
Yeah. Beauty, no? All the saints, they know where we are. From the known to unknown, they take us. No? Very beautiful. That's the thing, when that mind is in that wonder, automatically that it gets filled in the bhakti. Wow, everything is him. That's why, Vibhuti Yoga and all is fantastic. When we just read, what with one little sun like a dust to this body, and I am claiming this me to be me, and whatever is coming here, one small little thought, giving so much importance and wasting that precious moment, because every moment is him. That's the kind of and isn't it so beautiful to even say that, to just think, we don't even forget realization, to just even think that right now it is he who is talking through me, it is not me. That feeling, it is not me, because who am I don't even know. Some thought, some dead thought, some assumption, right? But that inner being is happening through this. So even just that gives a beautiful connect. It's a wonderful feeling. So that's the thing, rather than to know that everything is within. Yes, so the war resumed. So even in this churning, we see everything was Nine only, no? Narayana. Right from the beginning, he's there. He's there throughout. The instructions are him. Even Devas, Asuras are him only. Everything comes from him. Right? Devas and Asuras are him. He dilutes the Asuras. He ensures, he gives that surrender to the Devas. Right? Every moment it is Narayana happening by his will. Just like how in the dream, I may have, many, many characters in the dream. Narayana, we all are probably, his dream characters. And he is dreaming and having a wonderful Leela. That's what we call Leela, right? Yes. So now he's back to his natural form. The war resumed. When Narayana assumed his natural form, the Asuras were for a moment dumbfounded by the calamity that had overtaken them. They now come to the realization of reality. Before they could think, the Lord vanished from their sight. They were startled into action. Lifting their weapons high in the air, the Asura host rushed towards the Devas, and there ensued a terrible battle on the shores of the ocean. The Asuras were furious because of the deception to which they had succumbed, and this enraged them. They fought with added fury. Each one of them was intent on destroying as many Devas as possible. So here one thing is, they are furious because of the deception to which they had succumbed. We also see, sometimes we get completely deluded by something, but the anger is somewhere else, right? We do not realize that it is we who got deluded, but then the anger is in some other maybe beneficiary where we wanted to be, and the anger is there, so that's why we are ignorant. Like this Asuras, I think we can relate to Asuras very well. Asuras were furious because of
Ma'am, you were reading that portion where they only thought of themselves and their kids and their wealth. I was saying most people are like that only nowadays.
the world is that, right? And in the name of goodwill, also we are in this deception. We think, as responsible parents, we have to give them education in the top university. Right? All this we think is goodwill. Parents, they don't think bad. The intention is goodwill, but then we are deluded. It is delusion. It is, everything is all misplaced. That is why. Each one of them was intent on destroying as many Devas as possible. So they are now angry with Devas because they have benefited from the Amrita, and Asuras were, because of their delusion, lost it. Many duels were fought, but the most spectacular of them was that between Indra and Bali. Each was as powerful as the other, and all eyes were watching the fight. Indra was full of energy after he had partaken on Amrita, while Bali, being the master in the art of fighting with Maya weapons, would not be subdued by the arrows of Indra. Out of the sky rained weapons like fire and stones and javelins. This caused havoc in the Deva host, and Devas did not know how to counteract it. Ever mindful of his bhaktas, Lord Narayana appeared, and his presence was enough to dispel Bali's Maya and its effect on all of them. Isn't this wonderful? This line itself is just fantastic. When Narayana appears, Maya disappears. Maya loses its ground. This is something, it's a very powerful, we see this again and again and again in many Bhagavatam, in all the Bhakta Katha. So we just have to place Narayana in our heart. That's it. I mean, placing in the meaning what? Remember that he is there. We'll not get caught in the Maya. Yes. See, to dispel Bali's Maya and its effect on all of them. Bali's Maya is also not working and its effect is not working. Right? So whatever happens, it will not impact us when Narayana is there. We know the truth and we know all these come and go. So the impact on this body mind is not much. It is diffused, we can say. When such is the case, how can Maya exist when his presence was felt? Like a dream world fading, when a person wakes up, all illusions melted away. Fantastic it is. This is what it is. Like a dream world fading when a person wakes up. All the illusions melted away. So this Maya doesn't work. Truth is right there. When there is light, where is darkness? Right? In fact, even the 12 o'clock sun, they say, when we stand direct, the shadow, we don't see the shadow. Right? Only when there is a slant, there is a shadow. So the shadow is Maya. The shadow, but when we are completely illumined by Lord Narayana, by the truth, there is no place for shadow. But Bali was undaunted. So Bali's fight is continuing, but the effect of that on the Asuras is not there anymore. He attacked Narayana himself with many weapons. Kalanemi, one of the henchmen of Bali, threw a javelin at the Lord, and he was killed when Narayana caught it in his hand and sent it back to Kalanemi. Mali and Sumali were killed by the chakra of the Lord. Of course, Lord is Lord. He's only going to. Why all this? I don't. Indra then challenged Bali for a duel. He said, "You fool, like a conjurer, you took resort to your Maya tactics. Can you not see how futile your powers are? Look, with my Vajra, I'm going to smash your head into 1,000 pieces. Prepare yourself to meet your death." So, this Vajrayuda, you remember we saw that in Vritrasura Vadam. Vajrayuda is again, Narayana has entered in Vajrayuda. So, Vajra is also powered by Narayana himself. Bali looked at him with a slow smile and spoke in a low voice. He said, "Men who have been propelled towards fighting, who have been goaded by time and again as the result of their actions, these men, I say, have been impelled to pursue a particular line of action. It is not in their hands to decide for themselves what is going to happen." This is something I think we need to, I'll finish this. See here, Bali. Because it's not any Asura, it is Mahabali. He's also a devotee, right? So that is why he's speaking these. I see these as words of wisdom. See, I'll finish reading this and then we'll see. Men who have been propelled towards fighting. So Bali is in the team of the Asuras, and he has to do that. That is what he says by towards fighting, goaded by time and again as a result of their action. These men have been impelled to pursue a particular line of action. So this body, whatever body we are born with, the work that this body has to do is destined. It is destiny. So nothing can be done. There is no freedom in that. The work that this body has to do, suddenly I cannot become a boxer, right? Whatever, I don't know, just remember that. So it is what this body has to do is destined. It is programmed by nature, we can say. So as a result of their past karma. So for some past karma, this is the projection of that. They are impelled to pursue particular line of action. This is the action. Yeah. It is not in their hands to decide for themselves what is going to happen. So here at the body level, if we look at it, to such men, fame or victory on one hand or defeat on the other are sure to happen. It stands to reason that it should be so. The wise know that it is because of Kala, and they neither rejoice nor mourn when these things happen to them. So, body may lose its health at some point in time, right? Body may lose its energy, or it may be vibrant doing all work at some point in time. So the one who knows that the body is doing the work it has to do for what it appeared, for the wise, all these, we don't get carried away by that. Oh, I have a strong body today. I don't get very egoistic with that. Oh, I'm able to do 108 Surya Namaskaras. I don't get whatever high with that. Yeah, there is a balance. We know at some point in time the body will, at some point in time, it has to deteriorate. Once the work for which it has come is over, it will fall. That is what we call as death, but that's not death. Okay, body is falling. That's not death, right? So we call that as death. So the body falls once the work for what this has come. So he says it is because of Kala. So everything is such, and they neither rejoice nor mourn when these things happen to them. So whether it is successful, if this body is defeated, Bali is saying it is not going to affect him inside. That is what he says. Such wisdom has, of course, never been your heritage. Bali is looking at Indra and telling, you confuse your Atman with the Dehin who enjoys fame and victory. And so you have nothing but eternal sorrow and dissatisfaction in your minds. Right? So Devas are not realized. So this is Bali's statement. So when we can think, that is what confusing Atman with the Dehin means. Whatever happens to the body, I think it is happening to me. Whatever happens to the mind, I think it is happening to me. This pure existence, that existence has got nothing to do with what is happening to the body and the mind. The moment I think when the body is suffering, I suffer, I am putting that on. That is what Vedanta calls as adhyasa, superimposition. Yeah, imposing it, superimpose. Yes, when something in the mind, oh, I lose something. Yeah, I have been thinking I'm a very understanding mother. But once in maybe when children grow up and they cite some example and say, you never understood, you've never been an understanding mother, gone. So what happens? That thought which was part of my ego is punctured. When that is punctured, it is something happening to the mind, but I think it is for me and I superimpose on me and I suffer. Okay, so these are the things, that is what he says, mixing the Atman with the Dehin. The Dehin is the one who superimposes, who is not wise, who doesn't know this, there is existence beyond the body mind. Yeah, so the Dehi, he thinks I am the body. In fact, in Bhagavatam, I think it says the biggest, thing that they come up as part of the creation, it comes. Taking body as self. That is also one. It is just a thought in our buddhi, very strongly ingrained. Okay, when we were born as babies, the thought is not there. That's why we say, Brahman. Baby is Brahman. Because as babies, it is not there. But once, as we descend into this physical realm, looking at everything, that boundaries and all that, once the senses start perceiving the boundaries and all that, then we are descending in the physical realm. That is when in the buddhi, the thought comes that, oh, I am this body. The moment that I am this body, it is just a thought, actually, which is giving all this suffering. One thought. So, I am this body. When that thought is there, I am caught. That is Dehin. Dehin is the one who thinks I am this body. So, when there is fame, victory, it is rejoicing. When there is sorrow, when there is pain, when there is dissatisfaction, it is depression. So, all this is Dehi. But the inner one has got nothing to do with this. Foolish as you are, you think your foul words will hurt us to the core. So Bali is saying, whatever you are talking, it is not affecting me because I know who I am. And the body is doing its work because this is born in the Asura Kula and it is doing its duty. But we do not listen to such words. They are treated with contempt they deserve. So look at the wisdom Bali is. Because Bali is the grandson of Prahlada. Indra's anger knew no bounds when he heard the scathing words spoken by Bali. Since they were true, every one of them, they hurt him and angered him all the more. Right? We can't face truth sometimes. He hurled his Vajra at Bali, which threw Bali on ground. The friends of Bali hurried to the spot and took him away from there. A few moments later, he came back to fight, and the fury of their fight would not abate even a little bit. So this is something I think we can stop here today. Maybe this is something we can really, it is the Bali's wisdom comes out very beautifully here, right? Wherever we are, the body does its work. Mind also, whatever happens, it is not, he is untouched.
Ma'am, this is before the Vamana avatar?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Just
not,
asking.
yeah, I don't know.
I think it is before Vamana Avatar because here we get only Matsya and Kurma. After Matsya, Kurma comes. After Kurma, Varaha comes. Here we stopped at Kurma during this Mathana.
Yeah, Matsya has not yet come in Bhagavatam. Have we read Vamana Avatar and Bhagavatam? Not yet, no?
Uh-huh.
So it's not there. See, this Dashavatara sequence is not actually in Bhagavatam.
Okay.
Later it is
Actually,
done.
Bali and Vamana should come together, no?
Yeah. Bali is already the Asura's.
Hmm.
And moreover, the lifetime of
Vamana will
Bali
come
is
and
much
he
more
becomes
than Vamana.
Trivikrama.
The lifetime of Bali is much more than Vamana. Vamana is just
Appearance.
he has that it's a small time avatara. So
Yeah. Bali, we will see maybe Vamana Avatara. I don't know which canto it comes. It comes later. But just to say, Matsya and all comes later. The first Avatara, see, there is a beautiful chapter in Bhagavatam which talks about Avatara. To even understand, to know, Bhagavatam says every minute Bhagavan is taking Avatara, everything. Finally, it says this entire world is his Avatara. Okay, that is
so
Bhagavatam.
this few people they will try to link this
There's
Dashavatara
God in
to
each of
that.
us, na? So every soul that is born is Avatara only. In a way.
The entire Vishwarupa is his Avatara. Okay, so that is how Bhagavatam looks at it. And the major avatara, some 24 also it lists. Okay, so that we saw, I think, first one is Varaha, Yajna Avatar, Varaha. And then we have seen Kurma Avatara. Before that, I don't know.
Narasimha we saw in Prahlada.
Narasimha Stuti we saw. Yeah, so we will see. This Dashavatara sequence, someone has done it later to match it with the evolution.
No, ma'am, I just asked since it is the Bali and all. I joined just a little over a year back, no? So before that, if it was taken.
Yeah. You also didn't remember. You asked. No, I'm just saying this Dashavatar also, no? It is okay.
It's not related to the Darwin theory. People try to relate it.
Yeah, sometimes, some outer, when for people to maybe, I don't know, whatever.
To make it look fascinating, they try to connect things with science, which is prevailing all over the world.
Yeah. Sometimes it does help for people to turn to scriptures. For those who are totally, who think, some ideas like this.
Who want a logic behind everything or science to explain everything that's happening around them.
Yeah.
Probably to those
It
people.
may help, but yeah. So that is not the sequence that we see in Bhagavatam. Yeah. So
One more
this is
thing I wanted to tell Bala, this today is Ekadashi. So if you see, that is also one Maya of Narayana in a lady form. And today in the Damodara month or Kartika month, we on the day of Ekadashi, we are discussing about this avatar. That's also a coincidence
yes,
and
yes.
our fortune.
Yeah, very much. He's the orchestra, no? He's the, what do you say? Orchestrating everything. It is no incident is a coincidence, actually, Everything, when we start seeing his play there, it is very beautiful, actually, That is why they say the spiritual journey is much, much adventurous than a James Bond movie. It is so beautiful. That is when we start valuing every moment, and it is, and the more and more we value, he shows us, see, it's like that. The spiritual journey is very adventurous. Yes. Okay. We will
7:30,
stop.
no, now.
Yeah. So Bali is a wise asura because he is the grandson of Prahlad, right? So he was a wise king only. He had little bit. That's why Vamana, a very cute avatara, came. Yeah, to just take a little of that. Okay. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ Thank you, Hari Om.
Thank you, Hari.
Thank you, Bala madam.
Dhanyawada,
Thank
Hari
you,
Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks a lot.